Thank you very much. So, hi everyone. Um, so before coming here, actually I had some completely different vision of what I would like to talk about and what I would say. But I think this panel that we heard now would be a great introduction for, let's say, a step back. So we heard about the CEOs, what they do, their challenges at the moment and how they face them. But all of them had to start somewhere where maybe some of us are at the moment. So the early stage career, the early points, and how to push yourself to go to some different path and how to find the opportunities themselves. So as you heard the introduction, my name is Ilijana. I come from Republic of Srpska. It's a part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, so it's a Balkan country. And I finished there in Serbia, or actually in a different country, my bachelor's and master's in biotechnology. But I never had any, let's say, experience with any EU project or anything of that sort of scale. So this was a completely new or abstract point for me in this point of my career and age. And then came end of masters. I had no idea what to do, what to go, where to, whom to approach. And I actually went to a completely different business. I worked in a distillery for, let's say, 2 years, making some very delicious alcohol, very different liquors. But I understood very quickly that it wasn't really for me. So it wasn't very challenging. It was a very repetitive job. And I really wanted to see what I can do, what is out there, what I can strive for, how can I push myself. And I saw I was lucky, so this was maybe one part of my experience. I was lucky to see a project that was PREMUROSA, and this was a Marie Curie action connected to Latvia. So I applied. I wrote my motivational letter that was horrible. I had maybe the lowest score on my motivational letter. But then when luckily I came to the interview point of, let's say, stage of job application. But there I showed my passion. I showed that I really want this. I showed that I have experience that can be built upon. And this was a main reason that I got chosen for this early stage career position. And in COVID, in 2020, I came to Latvia. So here starts my experience with the EU projects, with the academia actually, and the whole entire PhD process. So the goal of PREMUROSA, how we saw before, it was connected to the deep tech, but also to the more basic points. So there is no deep tech without research, without engineering part, without these crucial, let's say, pillars that hold the modeling and the IT tech and everything later on. So in the PREMUROSA, there were 2 goals. As it was a Marie Curie action, it was a goal to train the young scientists who are going to be able later on to not only push themselves, but push the research and the technology further on. There was 13 of us in this project, and the treatment of musculoskeletal disorders was the hot topic then. So each of us had our role. We contributed, we did our research, and this was really with a goal to make some personalized medicine that can be built upon and really help patients with their specific needs, so that not that all research is going, in the very basic lab pilot work, but that we can go one step further and in our next career to build upon it. RTU's task, where I was doing my PhD, was the synthesis and characterization of biomaterials. So this is maybe the first time I went in the lab. It was a complete disaster. Everything failed, of course. But, with the rigor and million experience in the synthesis, we came to the next point, which was actually that we made the biomaterial that has very good attributes for promoting bone regeneration, sorry. And we managed to increase our synthesis process from 100 milligrams that we got in the beginning to 10 grams in the end. And then we thought, okay, good, we have this setup. We have all these technologies that were always had to work. You had to work upon them. So how can we go one step further to this personalized medicine approach? So we decided to go tackle the osteosarcoma, which is the bone cancer. We chose one very popular drug, and we actually managed to incorporate it with our biomaterial. So this was a very long research. It took one whole PhD to come to this point. And luckily it worked, at least on this scale. So far it was in vitro, but of course for the in vivo or some other steps, you need more time, more finances. But the promising results were there. So we wanted to say, okay, we have now our first set of data, and for our material and the synthesis, we already started to apply the deep tech part. So we had our partners, and we developed an AI model that can actually predict at which stage of the synthesis we are. So this was a very big step. It was very new at the beginning, and as a scientist, as a young scientist who just started, let's say, I had no idea what the modeling guys were talking about. You know, the first meeting with the two of us was two worlds. I'm saying something, you know, this is very clear. You can see this here, and he's like, I just see peaks. Some lines, squiggles, you know, means nothing to me. And when he shows me his data, I see ones and zeros and, you know, complete programs that, okay, good for you. this is interesting. But in the end, I really pushed myself to collaborate with him and to understand what he is talking about. And this really meant a lot for my next, you know, work and my next projects, because I learned how to talk with someone who is not from my profession. So this is also one point that you should think about. Try talking to your parents or with your sisters or brothers who are completely out of the thing you are working on. Because if you talk with them, they will say, oh, you know, you're going to some school, you're still in the school, so, you know, it's not a real job yet. But it's completely wrong. So if you start to explain to them what you're doing with some basic words or something, this is how you can train yourself for some small pitches later, and how you can actually build upon the progress you can make later on. So within the European projects, as a young scientist, you have a very nice benefit package that comes with the networking and the increase of your skills. And this is actually the traveling. So not only have I moved from my original home country, I really had a lot of opportunities to go do some research in other labs. So with their help and with the help of my supervisors in RTU, I spent several months in Finland, Italy, and France. But there are many conferences, many chances to meet some other people who are from different backgrounds, from different research fields, from startups, from everything else. And the key is to say yes. Do you want to go? Yes. Do you want to have a speech? Yes. It's not easy. It's, you know, it's pushing you out of your comfort zone, definitely, because, you know, it's scary to stand in front of all the people who will maybe ask you something, maybe not, who knows. Maybe your cheeks will get red like I am, and then, you know, who knows what will happen. But just say yes, and really this is a very big step. Also, throughout my PhD, what was very good for me, and I would advise other young people who are starting, these are three main things that I set out, that I achieved. So Science Communication Awards, there's a lot of things happening now. So what I did, I really tried to participate in different international contests and to go show my research, show my institute, to represent Latvia. And this not only brought opportunities, but brought a lot of friends. And these friends gave other opportunities to me, because why not? You know, you're doing this well, so maybe you can try this. So it was very beneficial. So, you know, network, talk to people. Maybe it's awkward to come to someone, but really try it. Then the next step was the supervision. So in my stage of career, it's basic supervision, let's say. So supervision one-on-one, maybe one with two more people. So it's a small scale, but still, what I always try to do was think about, okay, how would I like to be treated when I was a bachelor or when I was a master? What was missing for me? What can I maybe give to my student or to my colleague or someone? So always keep that in mind. So what you missed when you were going through your research path and career, try to give this to your new, mentee, for example. And the leadership in action, this comes back to saying yes. I heard about different things like cost actions, different networks and societies, and I really pushed myself to not only represent myself, but to represent Latvia, because why not? Okay, I'm not Latvian, but okay, I have some, light hair, light eyes I can pass through. So it worked. I really said yes to everything, and I managed to get some different roles in organizing conferences and scientific events and different managing committees. Then, when I finished my PhD last year, I became a part also of one big project, if you haven't heard, and this is the Baltic Biomaterials Center of Excellence, or BBC. So this is a very big, long-term strategic cooperation between foreign partners and Latvian partners, which one of them are, for example, RTU or RSU, and the team is amazing. There are so many professionals with so many different research and soft skills, and the team is comprised out of maybe even 60 or 70 people within the RTU only. And as you see here, there's a lot of wonderful ladies who make all this happen. And we have really a lot of fun. A lot of challenges come, because all the research is new, all the paths are unexplored, but still we manage to, make the most of it. So I think the main lessons that I learned was interdisciplinary collaboration, and this is how to speak a common language with someone who is not from your field. From someone who doesn't understand anything you're doing. So this is something you really need to practice. How to say some fancy words in a very, very simple way. So try, practice, and apply with your friends, if nothing. Cultural diversity. So when you're going to a different country, you're really pushed. You have no idea what to expect, where you will go, how you will find. Who knows how many times I sat on a different bus. There's a trolley bus number 3, there's a bus number 3, and you finish in some completely different thing. And then you need to try to practice, Latvian and to hone some skills, which don't really look sometimes good. But I actually found 2 friends this way, and we are still going to some, music shows or pubs. So it's not that bad to make a mistake sometimes. As we said, peer learning and mentoring and adaptability. So adaptability is hard, it's difficult, you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone, but the worst thing that can happen is you're not satisfied at that moment, but you tried. Next time you will know, okay, I can improve this or no, and if you don't try, the answer is anyway no. So, you have really nothing to lose. And to keep in mind that the failure is going to happen. You're going to fail at something is going to be bad. A lot of things in the lab will fail, or in some pitches, for example. But if you don't do it, how do you know you will succeed next time when it really matters for you? So, it's an endless loop, but try at it. For me, for example, there are different aspirations. I would like to lead different multi-partner EU projects, and I would like to build up on my own team, which is hard. So, I need to push my research directions in a different way, so understand different parts of the science. But if I have, and if I hone the beliefs, which I also told you you should have, that the collaboration, young scientists bring fresh energy, and the science should be inclusive and impactful. I think if I, stick to this and saying yes to stuff that are interesting to me, I think it will be okay, and I think it will also be okay for you to at least try something. So, as Anna said, we are from the Eastern Europe, and we have always had women in science, even more than guys. At least in my, research part, there was a lot more girls than guys. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, if you look from a different perspective. But girls are here, girls will stay here. So strive for what you want, and just hope for a little bit of luck to follow you on your way. Thank you.